Hey everyone, and welcome to our Do What You Love Summit. We're here for another great conversation with someone who is going to help you really learn how to become an online powerhouse, attract ideal clients, and really learn how to do that authentically. So, my name is Jackie Cote, and I'm your host. And I'm here today with Dr. Audrey, who is a transformational coach who helps people really step into their power, dream bigger, and start creating their dream life today. So, Dr. Audrey, I really want to thank you so much for being here. I know I did a quick snippet on what you do, but I'd love to have you start just by sharing a little bit more about your work and just, what it is that you're doing in the world that you love.
What I love is inspiring people to understand that whatever their desires are, whatever their passions are, it's not just by accident.
Mm.
Whatever they're feeling drawn to doing, it's because that's their purpose. And we live in a society where people are looking to be safe and are looking to keep the people that they love safe as well.
Mm.
So we have so many limitations that are self-imposed. There's so many programmings about what we can't do because it looks like it's not safe. So we're trained as we grow up to dream smaller, to be more realistic, and to say, okay, well, what's doable and what's not. And then many times we don't want to be disappointed, so we lower the bar because I don't want to get too all excited and then not succeed. So I'm just going to go for what looks reachable, what's really easy to manifest, and that really bothers me because that's not how I've lived my life at all. I was born and raised in France, and it's a beautiful place to be in the south of France, in
Mm.
Provence. People fly there from all over the world. It's beautiful for a vacation, but in terms of career and in terms of being
Mm.
exposed to all that the world has to offer, it's a nice rural area. It's great for a vacation, but not so much if you want to be all you can be and do all the
Mm-hmm.
things you want to do. So I decided to go to college. I traveled quite a bit. I lived in England, in Spain, in Italy, and then I came to California because to me, my community wasn't just Provence. I felt that I was a citizen of the world, really.
Mm.
And we are lucky now that we can get visas and there's possibilities to go and study abroad, work abroad. And that's really what I wanted to do. Same thing with my career. I didn't like the
Wow, that must be fun because, I imagine that that's probably one of your favorite times is when you see someone break through their limitations and do something that they really want to do.
It absolutely is. Seeing them blossoming. Usually, when people come to me, it's because they're at a place where they're either bored with their career or they're frustrated because they work so hard and they don't have the rewards yet for
Hmm.
what they wanted. And they realize that their dream did not unfold the way that they wanted it to. So
Wow.
there's pain there. And they're saying, enough is enough. I don't want to stay at this job because I go to meeting after meeting and I'm looking at how I'm spending my life going, that's not what I wanted. Or
Hmm.
maybe it's a business owner who's working so hard. Well, I'm sure you know, it's so many
Yes.
of us working so hard and getting nowhere because
Mm.
the strategy isn't right, or maybe it's the
Hmm.
mindset, or maybe it's just focusing on all the fears and it's focusing on all that we don't want to see happen. There's
Hmm.
a variety of reasons, but people come with such incredible potential that's not expressed. And working with them to build their confidence, the skill set, and
Hmm.
showing them what to do and how to become this person that they always had within, but they needed a little bit of help to let it out and
Hmm.
express their true nature and their talent and their beauty.
Wow. I love that. And I'll tell you, I think both as a business owner and someone who's worked full time, it seems like you're often surrounded by the negative and by the lack and the limitations. And I know that that's part of what you help people with is how to transition out of that. So can you share a little bit about, how you help people go from, the limitation to actually dreaming bigger?
Oh, this is fun. Well, that's where it all starts. I ask people to stop looking at what's realistic or
Mm,
and completely forget about the past or where they are today. It's just start creating a vision. What do you want to see happen? Imagine that you're writing the scenario for a movie and you can write whatever you want. What exactly would it look like? So by doing this, I'm giving them permission to really dream because
mhm.
it's safe. I'm not telling them set a goal and it will keep you accountable. You then get it. It's nothing like that. It's really feel within. Okay,
Mhm,
what's your dream? What do you really want? What is it going to look like? So create this vision of success.
mhm,
And it's very safe again because it's not about doing, it's about feeling and getting to the sense of knowing what really they want to create.
mm,
And then when that's done, I ask them, what if you could make it even better? What if you could make it even bigger? And that's how they start to expand their
mhm,
perceptions and they're expanding their dream because even when we are given permission to think with no limitations, there's still some that reside
mhm.
because we're thinking, oh, who am I to think I can do this? Or I don't know how
Yeah.
to do that, or I have no experience, I haven't done it before, and I don't know what I don't know. And there's all those thoughts, all those things holding us back and say, maybe it's safe to just dream smaller, get to that point, and then we'll see about the next step and get to that point. So I just want to blow all that up and say, no, 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 no.
Yeah, I love that.
Let's start with what you really want. Because
Hmm.
if somebody says, Audrey, please coach me on achieving something I hate doing, and it's not even what I want, but I need that accountability, I'll say, no, I'm not
Yeah,
coaching
that
you.
doesn't help.
It's got to be what you really, really want.
Mm.
So that's what we do.
Wow, I love that. I love that you talk about actually taking the dream and then take up leveling it. I've often heard that people tell you to cross out how much you want to make after you decide and make it even more. And my guess is that that can be scary for people as they do that. So how do you help them then take that vision and turn it into a reality? Like, what do you think are the steps between once you get them to be in that realm of dreaming bigger and actually then turning it into something that they can see actually materialize?
Mhm. So it really starts with inspiration, with vision, having that compelling future. When you have this
Mm,
vision in your mind about what you want to have in 6 months or a year, if you're reminding yourself every day and you're creating that compelling vision, it's a lot easier to go forward and take the steps. Now, I'm also, well, to give you a little bit more information about my background, so I have an MBA, I have a doctorate, I'm very strategic, I'm really good at planning and project
mm-hmm.
management. So I have that left brain that's live and well and working hard. But I also have my right brain with my creativity, and also I used a law of attraction and I use metaphysics because and also positive psychology. So it's
Mm,
bringing all of those pieces together to be able to create what we want to do. But just dreaming without taking action isn't going to work.
mm,
So the mindset needs to be a mindset of success. We have to trust that we can, believe that we can, but there's also the part about having a strong plan that makes sense and doing the work and
mhm.
being resourceful, being persistent, not giving up at every single little obstacle.
Mm.
And there's just so many components. It took me a whole book to write about all this.
Yeah, and I mean I love the title of your book, Size Matters, and that's really focused on not just helping you dream bigger, but actually helping you create your dream life. So can you talk about and I'm a big proponent. I have made vision boards over the past 10 years. Actually put on a vision board that I wanted to work for NBC, and later that came true. So I'm a big fan of them. I've seen them do well. But I can tell you that when it comes to creating a dream life, it's a little bit more challenging. So, what would you say, are some of the steps or where you've been able to see your greatest work done?
Well, let me tell you about some of the steps because, over 10 years ago, The Secret was so
Yes, that's
popular.
what started
Everybody
it.
was watching it. And it's a great movie or documentary and book because it's starting to open people's minds to possibilities. So I like that part, but the emphasis was so much into vision, vision, vision that people forgot that it takes more than just that. There's multiple aspects. So I have what I call my 5 steps to manifesting with intention because I wanted to insist on the parts that are being overlooked. So part 1 obviously is vision. That's where it all starts. It's having that clear vision, that compelling future, seeing the details of what you want to see created in your vision. You got to start with vision. That's super, super important. I think most people already understand that. But the second one is alignment. Sometimes we have inner conflict. So let's say if you have a client or a viewer who says, okay, in my vision, I've created my dream job and I'm making $500,000 a year and I'm so happy and people love my work and I'm excited and I'm using my talents and I'm appreciated and I feel good about myself and all this. And so she's got that vision about being successful in business. But if not everything within her is in alignment, then it's going to create inner conflict and then it's not going to work. So she has to pay attention to her thoughts, her emotions, and her beliefs because if a part of her thinks, but then if I'm more successful, it's going to change my relationships. Maybe some people are going to be envious. Maybe I'm going to be criticized. And how am I going to know who's my real friend and who's friend with me because I have money? And how can I express generosity because I'd like to take my friends on a really fun vacation? How wonderful would that be? Or I could rent a beach house for us all to be there over the summer. But how do I know who loves me for me or who loves me for my money? And what if I raise my kids to be entitled brats? Because now we have all this money and they're good kids now and they become really horrible kids later. So you see how beliefs and fear can get in the way of that vision. It's very possible for someone to have that vision of success, but then all those fears about being judged and all those things they could lose and what's going to transform, what's going to be different. Also, what's interesting is many of us want more money because money can mean a lot of things. For me, it's safety, safety/security, and freedom. I know that by having money, I feel safe. If I had to live paycheck to paycheck, I would have a heart attack. I've never done this in my life. It would not be okay for me. But also freedom to be able to do whatever I want. But some people still have beliefs about money instead of bringing freedom and safety is going to bring trouble. More responsibilities, more decisions to make. What if I invest in the wrong companies and the stocks just lose all their value? What if I become accustomed to a certain living with a certain amount of money and then I fail the following year? So it brings up a lot of fear. It brings up a lot of inner conflict. So that's why the second part in manifesting is aligning, making sure that our beliefs, our thoughts, our emotions, everything is in alignment. Because you can't have a part of you who wants success, a part of you who wants to not be successful, one part that wants to be on TV and they're calling you because they want to be on TV, and then the part of them that thinks, yeah, I really don't want to be on, I don't want people watching me. So we've got to bring all this in alignment. That's a very, very important component to being able to manifest.
And Dr. Audrey, let me just pause you there. So how do you do the alignment part? Because I think a lot of people are familiar with the vision and like The Secret and vision boards and journaling, but how do you do the alignment part? And how are you even aware of some of the subconscious things that you're thinking about the vision?
Yes. Well, what I do when I coach someone one-on-one, it's easy because it jumps at me. But for readers of the book or people taking the class who don't have a coach working with them one-on-one, I've listed a bunch of questions that are really helping identify what's really going on. So, for example, I might ask, so when you succeed, what will you lose? And that's going to come up. Well, I'll lose. Many people will say, when I succeed, I'll lose personal time, I'll lose freedom because I'll have so much to do that life will be hard. And that's where stuff comes up. So what will you lose? How will your relationships transform? I mean, it really depends on the person, what I would ask, but there's a list of questions that can really help people understand what's coming up. But really, what will change? What will no longer be possible? How will people view you? Because you might think, okay, when I'm more successful, people will like me more, love me more, and it all feels really good. Or you can look at it as, they're going to envy me, and there's
Mm.
going to be hostility, there's going to be jealousy. And not that any of it is real, but if
Mm.
that's how the person feels,
It's in
that's
the
going to get in the
mind.
way, and it's going to express itself through self-sabotage, because if a part wants to win and a part wants to lose, they're not going to make progress.
Wow, that's really great that you talked about that. So as they ask themselves those questions and hear the answers, what do they do to then get it aligned? Is it that they just start to kind of switch the way they perceive it, and that helps get it aligned, or how does that work?
Yes, again, that's hard to say because it depends on the client, but I do have a big section on that in my book as well. How do
Okay.
you change beliefs? How
Okay.
do you change beliefs? There's many ways. One way to change a belief is to realize your belief is not true.
Mm,
So you can look at it by looking for exceptions. For
okay.
example, if you say, once I'm successful, people are going to be, well, whatever it might be. If you're expecting a certain reaction, you can look at successful people that don't have that problem. So you're looking for reality, things that you
Mm,
can see that are tangible. So you don't really change a belief by just saying, "Yeah, I need to change my mind. I need to change my mind." You
yeah.
actually do change your mind. So you look for exceptions, and that's how you realize, well, maybe my belief is not true 100% of the time. Maybe it could be true and it could be not true. And then you step back into your personal power and you say, what can I do to make sure that doesn't happen? Because every time you're fearful of things happening outside of you, you're giving away your power. But
Hmm.
every time that you decide to say, I know what I want and I know what I don't want, so I'm going to do whatever is in my power to get the outcome that I seek. And I
Okay.
get to choose, and I look at how can I prevent things and how can I be in charge. And then also understanding that whatever happens outside of you that you cannot control, you still get to choose how you respond.
Okay, that's awesome. Awesome. I love that. I love those because I think that's one of the places people get stuck is like, they got the vision, but it's like, how do you bring everything else in alignment? So that's part two in creating an
Yes.
intention.
So the third one is coherence. Coherence is easier than it sounds. It's basically the concept that everything in life is energy, everything is based on vibration. So if you want to attract success, coherence is very, very, very important.
Wow, I'm loving this, and I'm going to just encourage everyone who's watching this video to actually go back and listen because you've said so much, and I know you have a whole course, a week in your course, and a whole part in your book, but it's really valuable what you've shared.
got to believe and you have to feel, but you've got to take action too.
Mm.
Because synchronicity does happen. Doors will open for you. You will meet people that are here to assist you. The universe will conspire to help you. Yes, but you still have to take action. So if your goal is to grow your business and be an online powerhouse, but you don't want to take any steps, you don't call Jackie to learn how to be on TV, you're going to have a problem. So action is a big, big thing. There's got to be a strategy. There needs to be the implementation, and also being courageous, being persistent, and doing the work. Now, when I say do the work, I don't mean work hard. I mean work smart and work inspired. Because you want every hour that you're working to be on purpose. And you want to make sure that you're investing your energy on what's going to pay off. So a lot of it is strategy, implementation, and action. But you can't just say, I believe, I believe. It's just gonna poof.
And Dr. Audrey, I love that you're touching on that, because I'll tell you, I spent an entire year in the early days of my business just sitting in fear. And I opened a blog. I was so afraid of what I didn't know that I just let it sit for a year, an entire year. I wish I would have gotten your guidance back then, because a lot of what you talked about with the coherence and the alignment and the vision would have probably changed my feelings about the whole thing and allowed me to take action a lot easier. So that's why I'm loving that you're sharing this, and I'm going to encourage everyone to really listen to what you're walking through, because it's the least resistance way to do it. I think a lot of people try to do what they love, and they try to like work hard and frustrate themselves, whereas you're really giving them a path of flow and creating it with so much more ease and intention.
And I used to be so out of balance. The typical type A executive, working too hard,
I'm guilty.
incredible standards, perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect at all times. I mean, I was so out of balance. I started to have health challenges that were all related to needing 5 cups of coffee in the morning to start my day, working way too much, and going to bed taking melatonin to try to calm myself down and be able to sleep. So I know everything you're not supposed to do. I know it's destructive. But, coming from that place of perfection, what I can tell you was one of the biggest lessons for me was to understand that it's really okay to make mistakes, because I used to think it's not. And then I learned to embrace not making mistakes, because I still don't like to make mistakes, but whenever you make a mistake, you're getting a lesson. And you're learning something that's going to help you in the future. So if it works great the first time, awesome. And if it doesn't, well, you're learning something that's going to help you down the road. So it may still be a great benefit. Now, the slippery slope is when people create a pattern of making mistakes. And that's where I call them on it, as if you make the mistake once, it's a mistake, you're learning, it's a lesson, it's fine. If you make the same mistake twice, that became a choice. So you've made that decision. And now if you're making the same mistakes 3 times, 4 times or more, now you're just creating a habit. So that becomes an excuse. And that's obviously not a good way to get stuff done. But making a mistake once is totally fine. And when you were talking about being a little bit of being stuck in fear, that's the worst of all, because the feelings you're experiencing, the anxiety, the knot in your stomach, that's the worst feeling. But when you take action, it's really simple. Either the next step is exactly the step you needed to take and it's all good, or if not, well, that's okay. But at least you've made progress, because now you've learned something that didn't work, and now you know how you want to do it next time. So there's still progress. And success is not that straight line from point A to point B. There's ups and downs, and even when we do things and we know exactly what we're doing, every time we start a new project or a new partnership, or even needing a new vendor, needing a new staff, even can learn something new. And if we're afraid, saying, "Oh, it has to be perfect," or "I don't want to do it," then you're sure to fail, because you're not doing anything. But it's finding that courage to say, I'm just going to keep going forward, because action feels so much better than inaction. Inaction brings so much emotional pain.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that that's step 4 of like really manifesting your intention, because it's a vital part. I mean, you've definitely talked about it well enough for people to really get it and get the consequences of not getting it. So what is step 5 you said there's 5 steps. We talked about alignment, vision, coherence, and taking action. What's the fifth step?
The fifth step is acceptance.
Mm.
This one tends to be hard for some people, but let me explain, it's actually not. It's being willing to be okay with the outcomes that you get. Because anytime you're really, really, really attached to something, so I've done all my steps and now things must unfold this exact perfect way, or else I'll be a failure, or else I won't be happy. When we are in that space of disallowing, when we are in that space of attachment, there's a little bit of energy there of desperation. There's too much at stake, and it brings up fear, and it just lowers your vibration, and it gets in the way. So when you're building your strategy and you're having your vision, you need to know exactly what your vision is. And yes, you should have some goals. And anytime you do something, you need to know your purpose so you don't waste time. But at the same time, you have to be willing to not be attached to a specific outcome. So I'm not saying give up on what you really want, never. But do not be attached on the how. For example, if you have a client who says, okay, this is my plan, I want things to happen this exact specific way, and something doesn't work out, she can still be motivated to try something different. And she will get to what she wants eventually, but maybe it's not going to unfold the exact way. So being okay with whatever outcomes show up. And that detachment can be hard when you're super focused, but it's key because anything that feels like desperation is going to get in the way of manifesting.
Wow.
So we have to be okay with whatever is. And I like to even push it a little bit more when I talk about acceptance. This is probably more about personal development than thriving in business, but in my opinion, they're connected. Is accepting the things you cannot control. Because if you're trying to change people constantly, if you're trying to change all this stuff, that's really none of your business, really. But it's coming from a desire to be in control of everything. That also will get in the way of living a joyous life and getting more success in business as well. Sometimes funny, some people will contact me and say, oh, can you coach my wife or can you coach my kids? I can coach you on letting go of your needs to change them against their will, but I can't. I'm not going to coach someone. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
When we get to a place where we understand that not everybody has the same values, not everybody has the same journey, not everyone is learning at the same pace, and learning to be okay with what is. Focusing on our business, not so much on other people's business. And that's hard when you're doing partnerships and somebody maybe doesn't do what they were supposed to do or disappoints you in some way. But having that ability to accept and still stay focused on you and what you can do and how you can respond is extremely, extremely powerful. It will spare a lot of heartache.
Wow. I love all that you shared. And I know that that's just a very small snippet of the great work that you do. Can you share a little bit more? I know you have a special offer for everyone that, covers what you just talked about, but a lot more. Can you talk a little bit about that, Dr. Audrey?
Yes. I must have had a moment of temporary insanity when I put together the offer.
Well, generosity is phenomenal. It just shows how well positioned you are in the world.
Yes. Well, I love to inspire people to dream bigger. And I keep getting emails from people saying, oh, thank you, you inspired me, and I loved your presentation, or I loved your book, but I want to know, what did you do with it? What really happened? I want to know more about real outcomes because I want to transform people and I want to help them get the life they want to get. So being inspired and enjoying the talk and enjoying the book, and it's great, but what are you really going to do? Because I'm not here to just inspire and motivate. I want to show people how they can transform and be the person they want to be and do what they want to do. So my offer is, well, first of all, I'd like people to get the book. So I am offering a PDF version of the book that they can download immediately. In addition to that, when you read the book, it gives you a blueprint, and it's a great way to know how do I learn in much more detail everything that we talked about today. But it's lacking the accountability part, and it's still feeling pretty much alone. So what I've done for people to not be on this journey alone is, not everybody has the courage to go for their big dream. And having a peer group is really important, and having a coach is really important. So I've developed an 8-week program where I am teaching all of the steps. And The course comes with weekly classes, recordings of the classes, materials, as well as participating in a Facebook group to be part of that community of people who are dreamers and achievers at the same time. Do you want me to talk about the 8 modules? How much time do we
I
have?
think, yeah, if you could maybe do a quick overview of what's included in the course. We have about 2 or 3 minutes left.
Okay, great. So I'll go quickly. So the first week is called Dream Bigger, because that's where it all starts. Break through fears and limitations and define your big dream. So it's that clarity and that expansion of the size of the dream. Oh, and quickly, when I talk about the size of the dream, it's not about greed, it's not about ego. It's about how important it is to you.
Oh, wow.
So it's about how fulfilling it is for you, not how the IRS is going to look at it. It's how you're going to feel about it. Week 2, draft your action plan. Design a blueprint to turn your big dream into a reality. So we're doing this kind of early in the course because we need that direction and we need that plan. Week 3, get resourceful. Identify and obtain the resources you need for success. What's critical is not so much what you already have as resources, it's how resourceful will you be to go and get what you need. So we do a full week on that. It's critically important. Week 4, you 2.0, unleash your inner achiever. So that's where, well, anyway, you'll see. it's becoming the new you, which is really awesome. Week 5, manifest with intention. So I go into much more depth about mastering the 5-step system we talked today to manifest. Week 6, be persistent and stay motivated. By week 6, it's normal sometimes to lose a little steam or maybe having some obstacles, and I want everybody to stay strong. So we're looking at persistence and overcoming fear, staying motivated, and trusting that you are going to succeed so you can be unstoppable. Week 7 is about self-empowerment, how to use your mind to your own advantage. So a lot more there about self-empowerment to really shift the way people go through their lives and succeed in business. And week 8 is the feedback loop. Identify and solve potential challenges. So we sort of look at everything we worked on. It's at the 2 months point. There's a lot of progress that's been made. And if there are any kind of challenges or obstacles that come up, then we work on that. So there is the book, plus the course. And I can't believe I said this, I threw in an hour-long one-on-one coaching session.
Oh, wow. That's phenomenal.
Because I want to have that personal touch too, and it really helps to have somebody that can help you with a specific part of the course. So during that hour, we can work on overcoming fears or looking at the strategic action plan, anything that the person really wants help with. It gives us an entire hour together to go deep into this and help make their dream a reality.
Wow. Well, that is extremely just phenomenal of you. I want to encourage everyone to really take that to heart and really take that opportunity to heart. I know your book is amazing. I'm going to go download a copy and really encourage those to also check out the course, because I know that this is really at the foundation of being able to really do what you love in the world. So I just want to thank you, Dr. Audrey, for your time and just for everything today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, and let's inspire lots and lots and
yes, let's go for it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you next time on another interview for our summit. So have a great day. Bye, Dr. Audrey.
Bye.
Bye.